Why, good evening, you beautiful souls. I hope you're having an amazing Wednesday thus far. And we're going to keep the good times rolling with a lovely satsang focused on our healing, most importantly, how to master transformation. Now, one of the most particular things about spirituality is there's a lot of assumptions that go into it. And the simplest way to break down this direct path, this inner looking, this process of unfoldment and awakening is simply put as healing. And as we do this, we unfold our baggage, we heal and transform ourselves. So, tonight you're going to gain the tools and resources on how to become your master of self inquiry, of self mastery itself, but most importantly, of transformation. So, go ahead and get those last few wiggles out, get comfortable. And when you hear the next three taps of the bell, take an inhale with each singing bowl as it rings. And when your inhale is complete, allow your exhale to transform itself into a calming and relaxing Om. Shift your full attention to the sound of your own voice, to the sound of my voice, to the vibrations and resonance you feel within your own body. And allow the mind, allow the emotions, allow the physical sensations to simply fade away, just as the sound of the bowl fades into silence. Just as oil and water separates, allow it to simply still. Allow the beingness within your own recognition to settle like dust, to remain quiet and calm, shifting your full presence and awareness to what is happening before your very eyes. Rest within yourself. Command the body to be still and take over breathing as you simply fall in love with this pureness of being. As I lovingly invite you into the space of the heart, mine and your own, this gateway, this portal, shall bring you to the doorway of your own manifestation, creation, transformation, and knowing. With this next tap of the bell, shift your full attention to the sound of the note as it rings, focusing on that center point within your own body, the heart space. Allow that loving light to unfold and shine as the celestial being, the divine light you are. Life is a play of change, yet the one constant within it is the window of awareness you look through, that sense of self. And although the identifications and attachments in which you see as you in those phases and fads of life are changing like the seasons, the beingness in which they're all attached to remains the same. It's your own gaze, inner and outer, that experiences the world around you and the world within you. But what happens when you let go of all attachments? What happens when you cease to identify with anything outside of you? What arises when you watch the thoughts, emotions, and sensations like they're clouds in the sky, at a distance, with space? It's this process of objective awareness, observing the happenings of the inner and outer world, that provide us the clarity to see the bigger picture. To enter upon this direct path, this one of healing, of unfoldment, is to take a step back within yourself and view the scenes as they are, absent of how you feel about them, absent of what you claim to know and assume, but to see the patterns and habits, the cycles and experiences for what they truly are. This life itself is a playground of experience, one of exploration. Yet the trials and tribulations of personhood often bring us to this realm of suffering, of pain. For in truth, we all will experience such things. But how long you hold on to it and whether or not you transform that suffering into power is up to you. What are you willing to let go of? What are you currently holding firmly within your grasp of identity? And again, what happens when you let go of everything? We see this process of learned behavior as conditionings. We know you absorb most of your identity before you're even 8 years old. These stones that are tossed into our still pond, this soaking up of conditionings indiscriminately as children, manifest in our experience as we invest in them, as this body ages, and as time moves forward. But know here each breath, every slice of now is an opportunity to completely change your life. For we all know such truths. For one moment, life can be blissful, gleeful, and exciting. And just like the snap of a finger, a single moment, an instant, our lives can change forever. We overlook these powerful and profound subtleties within our experience daily. But what happens when you give yourself that opportunity to set down these arms, these jackets of conditioning, these weapons of separation, these past memories and pains? Know that you can let go of everything within a single moment. A simple breath. Your inhalation and exhale is this contract that we renew with life every moment. For we no longer participate in that exchange. We move on, and the body ceases to live. This life is your creation. So look within your own heart. What is it that wrongs you? What is it that pains you? And how can you heal from it? We must recognize this direct path is not one of profound leaps, but one of consistent effort, consciously being aware of what resonates as truth within our heart and how that gets distorted in our execution in this physical world, action. Are you holding on to resentment? Are you holding on to past suffering? How many people live rent-free within your own mind? How many anchors are weighing down the heart that do not belong to you? First and foremost, we must all recognize that each being is living out this great mystery, and no one fully knows. Nor can words fully express and contain the divine infinite nature of our true being. We can only come to know that through our own experiential knowing. It is the only way possible to ever understand that there's something more. When we ultimately learn our lessons, when we recognize that each being is dancing this dance and figuring it out as they go, it makes it easier for the heart to let go and move forward and transform. And if we don't, and remain caught up in these past memories that we renew with each fixation in the present, life will often send us down a cyclic path of intensity and chaos, trying to jostle us awake from our sleep, trying to wake us up from this daydream of illusion and delusion. Everything in this experience is created by your own perception of it. How you digest and process life is the only window of awareness that truly matters. So, what happens when you reflect upon your past sufferings through the lens of learning, through the lens of compassion, not only for those who have wronged you, but for yourself? What arises within your heart when you console the child that is ever present within you? It's here with these simple reflections and ponderings that we bring ourselves to the doorways of transformation. Just as life is ever changing and evolving, so too you can change and transform yourself with each moment and slice of now. There's nothing holding you back but willingness. There is nothing holding you back but your own love for change. And although perfection is a concept that is ever foreign to the human experience, we can each bring out the perfect being that we are by letting go of everything that we're not. That includes the past pains. That includes the past conditionings. So dissolve away every assumption you have of this world. Come to question who you were before you were even given a name. Fall back into the grace that you already were born with as a child. And simply sever every thread of attachment you have. The statement, as above, so below, yields more truth than anyone can truly fully understand. But just as the formation of planets arises through pockets of matter gathering, through energy, through a pull, we can see this akin to our human experience. Your consciousness, your energy of source is fully and first most the true thing that forms. And as we see, matter grows around it. It grows enough to embody this consciousness that you see as self. Just as the planets form with the random rocks and chemistry that happens in space to form water and all the other matter on the planet itself, we must recognize that everything here in this process of experience is a reflection upon itself. Destruction and creation are natural processes in life. Just as stars destroy themselves, they birth life and planets. Just as stars are constantly eating away at themselves, they provide life and light and love. But so too your own conditionings serve as that matter that builds you. And just as the planets are formed, it can grow and grow and grow. So, what happens to your existence, to your beingness, when you remove all foreign conditioning? When you return to that state of energy itself? Take a deep breath. Observe the body, but don't control it. And as you exhale and drop away that breath, simply watch. Do not focus on breathing, but allow the body to remain empty of air as long as it needs to. Simply inhale again and allow the body to rest. It's this simple practice of stilling your own physical form that allows all that collected matter, just as the planets, to cease bundling together and to relax. Like an exploding planet, we see all the conditionings in this stillness. And as you relax your own body, heart, and mind, you can finally see clearly the conditionings that are ready to leave you. And just as any celestial body, when it leaves the gravitational pull, it simply floats away. This direct path, the journey of awakening, of enlightenment, the name matters not. For in truth, it's all a process of healing and coming to understand what you already are. The paradox of spirituality itself is this process of transformation, of change, is really a stripping away so you can return to that energy itself, not identified with a name, not identified with a form, but simply living out the full recognition that your essence, the sparkle behind your eyes that lights the consciousness, is one and the same of all else around you. Don't worry. Don't assume. Simply return home to the heart and allow your love to radiate and shine. Come to recognize that everything observed isn't you, for the nature of itself is being seen, being heard, being experienced. And as you continue to separate that in which is experienced with the experiencer itself, you'll begin to see things clearly. The aha moments that arise within stillness cut straight to the heart itself, allowing us to recognize something new, another layer, another jacket of conditioning that we can remove, an opportunity to console and love that child self that was harmed, that was wronged, that learned ways that didn't speak with our heart. All it takes is a single moment, a single breath, for again, you already are that in which you're seeking. This love and light shines from us, but even that is just the aroma of our being. It too is observed. So dive deep within yourself and enjoy this exploration of light and love. and allow yourself to fully embrace this wild ride called the human experience. From a realm of accountability and responsibility, allow yourself to choose consciously every action you take, and allow your unique and beautiful self to express itself freely. That is the one gift, that is the one purpose in this life, our own unique beingness. There is no one like you. There is no one that sees the world like you. For your window of awareness is your own. It was gifted to you, and in turn, your purpose is to gift it to the world. To simply learn the source of who you are, and to dance your dance with glee and show others it's possible. When you hear the next tap of the bell, take in a long and deep breath. And as you draw in the chi, the prana, the vital energy around you in this ether, with your exhale, release anything and everything holding you back from your pureness. As you heal, as you transform yourself, and remain ever present at the peace in which you are. Namaste. I bow to the divine being within you. And as always, don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the meditation. And the one question I have is a carryover from a meditation session that I had with a client this week. And it comes with judgment. So the question that I was asked was, how do you allow yourself to not act with judgment and assumption? And it's a pretty straightforward answer. So I'll give that first. Unusual self in that way before I get into the long one. But you just remember that you judge and assume things. And it's just a simple questioning of, do I know this for certain? Do I know this absolutely? Have I asked them? Whatever question it takes for you to take a pause, to really disengage from the game of assumption. And the reason why this question is very pertinent for this meditation is because it was based on assumption and past experiences and pains. So the key here is every moment is new. Every breath is a renewal of life. Although the mind, the ego, is a past pain body, it likes to assume that it knows things based on an experience back in the day, maybe even yesterday, maybe even an hour ago. But to truly live in that love and light that you are, to be open, inclusive, is to provide space for people to simply be, to forgive each moment. It's that compassion that allows us to truly and fully heal ourselves and operate logically in truth. Because when we assume, when we judge, you're being insane. You're acting like you know what's going on in someone's life. You're acting like you know what's going on in their head. And instead of asking a question to confirm your assumption or hunches, You live out as if it's the truth. We can never do that. Because if we do, don't expect pleasantries. It's a game of listening and fully hearing someone. It's a game of really speaking out your truth and expressing yourself. And the moment we think we've got things figured out is the moment you've missed the point and it's gone straight over your head. Life is a great mystery. No one has all the answers. You hear me often say, I see every being as a piece of the puzzle. And when we exchange our perspective rather, we each can tap in and get another piece that kind of builds our picture a little bit more clearly, and the real step of healing and transformation can arise when we stop assuming everything, because then we're actually open and providing the loving space to learn. When we remain curious as we were when we're children, we give ourselves that drive to continue to dig deeper and call ourselves out for the insanities that we've normalized, because society is batshit crazy as a whole, and we must recognize to change society, we must change ourselves. It's a feedback loop. Your beingness feeds into society. Society's pressures and all the cultural stuff feeds into you and your identifications. But when you let go, when you stop identifying with the world and the lessons you were taught within it, you stop that cycle from happening, and you're no longer consuming the insane backwards thinking, the inhumane perspectives that our society breeds. And you're now creating a new world. You're now creating a new life for yourself and others. Those that refuse change, I'm going to give you some real advice here. And this is from working with clients and students who are 70s, 80s, 90s. The last thing you want to do in life is live in regret, is to live in this state of perpetual ignorance, because it is not bliss. When you age and when this body starts to drop away, the many skills and beauties that you have in the youth and people in your life begin to drop away, you will come to this moment of recognition of, who are you? What am I really? Because your identifications of the past are no longer there. So I say this with urgency for each being, especially current times. Look within your heart. Take this direct path and take your healing and transformation into your own hands. You can think about these things all day and reflect upon them and still operate normally. And I'll let you know something, that life gets easier. It really does. Everything about it becomes effortless again, like when we were kids. And then the intuition, the spirit, the source, it just flows. But it all starts when we stop assuming things and hold ourselves accountable and responsible for how we operate, how we see ourselves, how we see others, how we see the world. So don't give up. I love you. And it's most important now to love yourself and partake in this inner search, this direct path that each being is destined for. Now, I love you so much. And as usual, may the fruit of knowledge offer a seed. And in that seed, may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment. For a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all who ask. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. And as always, thanks for tapping in. Thanks for tuning in. If you can, give this video a share. It's 2 clicks away to share it to whatever social media you're already logged into. And I'd appreciate it. In order to change this planet, we have to change ourselves. And I seek to continue bringing you content that'll help you transform your life. So help a brother out. I love you so much. Peace.